Thanks for staying with us. So our guest today is going to tell us more about the TPP Fest. He's a world-class performance strategist. Welcome with us, Dr. Abiola Salami, popularly called Abiola Chap, in the building. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you, ladies. And you guys were making me feel really good off the camera.
Off camera.
Yeah.
So tell us about TPP Fest. I know this is not the first time you're doing it, right?
No, this is not. So TPP First is our flagship program on the Peak Performer platform. TPP is the Peak Performer. Yeah. And the festival, we've curated it to be an inclusive festival, equipping players in the marketplace to deliver peak performance, to cultivate a culture. And that's a real thing, the culture. To cultivate a culture of peak performance. Organizations want their people to deliver excellence. Yeah. And culture is the aggregate of behaviors of people. So how do you equip your people so that each individual is delivering peak performance, so that the aggregate of everybody is delivering peak performance? So the festival is bringing the different demographics together, bringing Gen Zs like me, emerging leaders together. We have a special day for women. I will talk a little bit more about that because I'm with women on this show. Yes. So we have a special day for women. We have another day for senior leaders generally. And of course, we'll be celebrating some corporate organizations and people will call legends. So with the Peak Performer Festival 2024, it is driving a culture of peak performance with our flagship product, the magic of emotional intelligence.
Love it. Love it.
Yes, I've been to, I've listened to you talk on emotional intelligence, and it was really powerful. I also have your book as well, which I read from time to time on that, so I know what you can do. But what do you hope that participants of this TPP Fest will get out of the event? Great
question. It is about building their capacity to scale. So when you are delivering on a level of excellence, somebody said that some people fail, not because they aimed and they missed, but because they aimed and they hit. So you have achieved some level of success already. There is a possibility that people can play too on that, celebrate that success for long. So what we're doing with this program is to equip people with skills that are delivering excellence already to scale their level of excellence. And that's what peak performance is. Your performance last year, even if we clapped for you, we gave you an award, we appreciated you, we promoted you, your performance last year, that is old story, that is old success. So how do we make sure that we ignite the staff of every organization? How do we ensure that leaders as well deliver a higher level of success? So that is what we're creating with this.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so women in business and leadership are key players at the TPP Fest. So how does the event specifically cater and support and empower the women, in the different spaces? And what impact do you think this will have on the future female leaders?
Great question. I believe that a peak performing woman is a catalyst for socio-economic development. Absolutely. So if you want this country to develop, if we want all the issues we talk about in the newspaper, all the issues that we have in this country, I believe that it's because we're not focusing on engaging and empowering our women as much as we are supposed to. So what we are doing with this platform is to equip women with skills. By the way, in emotional intelligence, there are 12 very important skills that women especially should develop that will help them to continue to deliver a higher level of excellence, right? One of them, self-awareness, getting to understand yourself more. But the other critical part, empathy, seeking first to understand before you are understood. Collaboration, getting to work with people. Synergy equation says 1 + 1 is greater than 2. Getting to work with a team of people so that the revenue you generate is higher than what you could have generated alone, so that your operations is more efficient, so that you retain more of your customers and other stakeholders. These are the things we're trying to do, and the skills we'll be sharing with women, enlightening women, equipping them so that they can grow their business, so that they can fast-track their careers as well.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. So for me, I've always found the idea of increasing productivity very important. I feel that many conferences are targeting the CEOs, while in actual fact, we need to carry the team along. So can you explain who are the different segments of people that you are trying to empower with this conference, and in specific terms, so that if they see themselves, they're able to...
Fantastic. Great question. many times, as you said, we focus on the leader on top. If you go on the streets of Nigeria today, and then you talk about any problem, and you put the mic in the mouth of any citizen, the first thing that they would say is the president or the governor or the local government chairman, and that is because we've not been oriented to take personal responsibilities in our different spheres. So what we're doing with this is to equip the different demographics to take personal responsibility. One, young people, for example. So we have the Emerging Leaders Summit, where we're equipping young people with emotional intelligence so that they can improve their effectiveness, so that they can be more productive. Young people are asking for opportunities. Even when you now have the opportunities, how well are you maximizing the opportunities? So young people are seeking for growth in their career without having the necessary skill to help them to deliver excellence on the job, to let them grow. So this is what we'll be doing with young people. For women as well, there are a lot of issues, biases, prejudices, that could cripple the God-given talent of a woman from scaling, whether she's running a business or she's in a career that she's growing. So with this, we're also equipping women who have leadership roles now. Whether she's just a supervisor today or she is at the top of the organization, that what we're doing at the TPP First is engaging them. So far you are leading at least one person, is to engage her, to show her some skills that she would need to help her lead her people aright so they can deliver on the goals of the organization. And of course, we're engaging senior leaders. We're not leaving them behind. That's the C-suite executives, So whether you're a CEO,
your MD,
your MD,
MD Mama.
Can you say that again?
MD Mama.
Okay, MD Mama. Well, I have a new name for you.
MD Mama.
Yes, or MD Mama. Or you're a CFO, CHRO. So for a C-level executive, we're also engaging that cadre, because you see, what it requires for you to lead a small team is a different ballgame than what it requires to lead when you are on top of an organization. And there are many times that we have the illusion that because we have done very well on this level, that we have the necessary skills to do well on this level. So which is why it's important for C-suite. Now, for the C-suite executive, you are not thinking about your own performance in terms of your own productivity. Your technical skills is no more required as much. What is required is your skill to drive transformational leadership, your skill to inspire the leaders you lead, because you are now a leader of leaders. Your skill to inspire the leaders you lead to deliver excellence. So we're engaging them as well on their level, engaging them on the magic of emotional intelligence to drive transformational leadership.
Love that, and I know that you've been doing quite a bit on entrepreneurship, but well, TPP has focused on that. But, what are kind of some of the areas you think is crucial? Because every young person is an entrepreneur, but they don't understand certain on how to scale. So what are the other areas you think that will be discussed at this event for young entrepreneurs, especially to get value? So
for an entrepreneur, the biggest challenge of an entrepreneur is actually not as much the economy. Now, the economy may not be economying, right?
The way it should economy.
The way it should economy, thank you. But the biggest challenge for the entrepreneur is actually not the economy. The biggest challenge for the entrepreneur is self-management. Is how you lead and manage yourself. Yes, you need to lead and manage you need to manage resources, money, materials. You need to lead people, but the critical challenge is leading yourself. There's this thing. We say, oh, I want to be my own boss. And then because you want to be your own boss, there's the assumption that the moment I start running a business, then I'm not reporting to anybody. Whereas reporting to someone is a great opportunity. Having someone who can give you feedback, it's a great opportunity. Instead of feedback is the breakfast of champions. Right? So for the entrepreneur, the biggest challenge is to lead yourself. So at this session, we'll be showing you how you can lead yourself effectively. That is when you can drive your team to grow the kind of money that you're looking at growing sustainably.
Fantastic. So, we have to wrap up with you, but let's talk about leadership for a second, because I know that how do you hope this would eventually shape the future leadership strategy, especially in government people also. You need leadership training. So how do you think this would help in that?
Okay. You see, generally, when people know better, we do better.
They're expected to do better.
Generally, generally, when we know better, we're expected to do better.
Exactly.
But it begins with knowing better. I've had conversations with senior leaders, both in public and private sector organizations, and I realized that there are certain things they don't know. We have the assumption that so far someone is occupying a particular office, we give the person a lot of credit, and we have a lot of expectations and assumptions that they have certain skills. So what we are doing with this platform is we hope that as we continue to orient leaders, and this is open to both public and private sector organizations, as we continue to orient leaders, as leaders continue to know more, that translates into their individual behaviors, and the aggregate of that behavior forms a culture of excellence, not just for our country, but for our continent.
So I think it's, can you share the dates, the time, the venue, how people can register?
Great. So it's holding between 2nd and 4th of October. It's a festival. So that's next week, just right here, next week. So it's a festival. We have multiple venues.
Oh.
Yeah, so yes, for the emerging leaders, Alliance Francaise in Ikoyi, for the Day of the Women, it's at the Muson Center, Shell Hall. It will be a day of fun. So it's not just talk English. There's food, there's music, there's comedy, there's networking, a lot of exciting things, happening. So next week, 2nd to 4th of October, we have Alliance Francaise, we have Shell Hall at the Muson Center. And so to register, just visit www.tppafrica.com, and there you can follow me at Abiola Champ on all social media platforms. And I have something for the viewers of your view.
Okay.
Now, if you send me a DM at Abiola Champ on Instagram, just say something you heard from me on this show. You may win a free ticket.
Oh, wow. That's
That's so
amazing.
good.
Thank you so much. Pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
Wishing you the
Thank you,
best.
Abiola
Thank you.
Looking forward to
Thank you.
next week.
Thank you.
Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll